Hello, fam. How are you today? I pray that all is well with you and in the lives of your family. Um, I'm here today. Our topic today is getting our affairs in order. Um, you know, um, I'm just going to address the elephant in the room, which is death, death, and illness. Lots of people do not want to converse in regards to those two things. No one wants their loved ones to become sick, and no one wants to address or think about the idea of a loved one or themselves dying. However, they are two important things that should be discussed at least in preparation for either of the two occurring. What I mean by that is that death is pretty much inevitable. Like you live to die. Um, all things worth enjoying and seeing, and all people worth spending time with, um, or giving their roses to while they're here, will eventually leave, or yourself. You will leave at some point. And so today I just wanted to address being prepared, in the event of either of these things happening for yourself or a loved one, that you have the conversation. Um, I know myself, I was introduced to the concept of being prepared for death by my grandmother. Um, I was young. My brother and I were young when our mother died. It was really sudden. She had her affairs in order. It wasn't really discussed, but it was easily found. However, with my grandmother, she pre-planned her funeral. And if the event that she was sick, she had specific things that she did and did not want to occur. And so when she would address them with me, I would be like, "Oh, Granny, okay, we don't need to talk about that. You're going to be here. Like, we got plenty of time to discuss it." And da 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 da. And she would be like, "No, we need to take care of this business, and you need to be aware of what's going on. If in the event I leave before you leave, these are the things that you need to know." In today's society, a lot of people are not prepared, and they are simply leaving the burden of debt on their loved ones. They don't have insurance policies. They haven't had a prepaid funeral. They haven't discussed any type of health insurance or homeowners insurance in case of fire, theft, or whatever, or an act of God. People just don't discuss these things, or either they don't have them. Numerous people I know have had to have some kind of GoFundMe account, or cabaret, a fish fry, some kind of candy sale, or something. The family pulling together to raise money. Their 401ks to pay for a loved one's, not just the death, but their estate, uh, because they've left insurmountable debt behind. And so, I just want to discuss preparedness. Um, I would implore you to obtain insurance if you're not able to provide insurance for yourself through an employer, or to purchase it on the marketplace, or anything of that nature. Then I would suggest that you apply for Medicaid. If in the event you are sick or become injured, that you will have some type of insurance um, to cover you. And again, that's based on you not being able to afford to pay for insurance. So there's a cap on how much money you can make with that. Not sure the actual factuals on the dollar amount, but there is a cap. Um, for those who are elderly, you may want to include Medicare to your whatever, your retirement insurance, your insurance that you're receiving at your current job if you're still employed as a senior. Um, but a Medicare supplement can be in addition to the medical that you currently have. I do know some people have Medicaid and Medicare. Not sure um, if that's applicable to you. But then we get into things like life insurance. And there are a few different types of life insurance. There is whole life. There is term. I believe term is for a short period of time or to a specific time period. And then if you haven't expired or died at that time, then the contract is null and void. Whole life is throughout the entire life process. The insurance agents can tell you about all of the specifics on term and whole life. I'm sure they're broke down into multiple categories. But then you will have to discuss that with your significant other, children, loved ones, to decide what best fits for you. And then you would purchase it according to one, what you can afford, and two, what better suits your needs. And then if you're a person who doesn't want to participate in purchasing life insurance, then I would say that a prepaid funeral would work best for you. What that means is that you have a contract with the funeral home to pay for services in advance of your funeral. So you would make a payment plan. You have to call around and find out if your family's funeral home that they use on the regular or a particular funeral home that you might want to use has that option for you. And if not, you may have to be flexible and go with someone else that you may not have considered before. The reason why I'm discussing this is because we've been hit by this COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. I call it the plague. You guys already know that. And there are so many people who have died that were unprepared. And their families are having to adjust to not only their ailment or death, but the circumstances due to the coronavirus of not really having a hands-on approach. I've talked to people who were not able to attend their loved one's funeral because the funeral home was not able to facilitate a funeral at that time due to high volume. Two, the type of funeral that their loved one or they may have envisioned for them is not feasible because the contagiousness of the virus. And so therefore cremation has been suggested in some of these cases. Financially, if it's going to be a shared burden or if it's going to be one person who's going to be taking care of all of the planning and business related to a funeral, or like who's your health advocate, like who's doing that, who has to say, or what people have to say if you're incapacitated to make those medical decisions for you. Like all of these things are important, and you cannot just take for granted that people are going to know your wishes. Like if you want to be resuscitated, if there's some type of problem, and how many times did you want to be resuscitated? Are they allowed to give you experimental drugs? It's like, all kind of, examples I could use in that. But like, this is a perfect time because we're all shut in to discuss these things with your family so that, you all have an idea of what you want. Is cremation your final destination, in this human form? Or did you want a burial? Did you want to be a part of the earth? Did you want to be cryogenically frozen? Did you want to be planted as earth food? I think that's what it's called when they take your remains and plant them a tree using your carbon as the food for the tree to replenish the earth. Like it's all kind of stuff that people, all kind of choices. But you have to have a discussion, or you have to pre-plan these things and leave it somewhere where your loved ones can attain it or to know to look for it. And then there's planning in the states. Do you have an attorney that can draft a last will and testament, or to plan your final estate, or just estate planning, period. And they can go over all of the things that you need to do, from wills to testaments to a plethora of things. But the first thing, the easiest thing, the least expensive thing that you can do is to have the conversation with your loved ones to discuss what is right for you. I have taken the opportunity to discuss with my loved ones what I would like. And I have secured means for my final arrangements before my for my health, and if I become sick or anything, or death. And so I'm here to encourage and give positive feedback. We look at death as a negative, and actually it's not really a negative. We've been taught that. Just retraining your mind to just take care of the business, help your family out, and if possible, at least eliminate debt. But if you can't eliminate the debt by leaving a substantial amount of income, or if you weren't able to pay off all your debt before you get sick or you die, then an insurance policy, depending on the amount that you can afford and the amount that you're looking for, might be able to help your spouse and children or your loved ones and caretakers to continue the lifestyle that you've afforded them. And that includes in paying your debt. And then, just, do you want anything donated to any particular organization? Do you have an animal that needs to be cared for? Like I said, the things that you could list in order to, or the things that you can discuss pertaining to, your health and your final wishes. That's going to vary depending on the person or whatever. Some people want stuff really simple, really easy. Some people are going to want it really elaborate. And just keep in mind that if there's an act of God or something like this COVID-19 going on, that your family member might not be able to address your wishes in the way that you have already mentioned. And then you should be able to discuss modifications. And this is, like I said, this is an excellent time, because this is not regular, and life after COVID-19 will not be back to your regular day-to-day living situation. This is a definite permanent change for the way that we live our lives. And so, we're family, and I'm starting the family discussion today to, encourage you to go ahead and to just implement your thoughts and your wishes to your family. And then to begin to seed that, plant the seeds for that to maturate or to grow into whatever it is you want. If you want to purchase land, if you want to precious metals, just different things. You have annuities, mutual funds, CDs or stuff set up, life insurance. Like I said, it's a whole plethora of things, and I'm not on here to sell you anything. I am simply here to help you start the conversation that needs to be had between you and your loved ones in terms of your health, your sickness, um, or your death. And so, like I said, today is a great day to do that. Or if you're not able to do that face to face, you can use any technology, Skype, Duo, FaceTime. If you have that type of phone for FaceTime, you can schedule a meeting to meet somewhere where you can practice social distancing. Um, I'm not sure how the insurance companies or the funeral homes are conducting business during this time, but you can get those things from the white pages, yellow pages. You can Google it um, online. There are so many ways to get this started. Um, let's not leave our family in more of a conundrum or bind than we have to. And let's just continue to love on each other, to encourage each other, to practice things that will benefit our lives and sustain in life and better health. Um, I'm going to implore myself and encourage myself to exercise. Since the gyms have been closed, I have not exercised at all during my quarantine or being under the weather. So I am going to implement that and start back up on my exercise regimen. That is going to help with this COVID-19 spread and um, to lose some weight, which will hopefully extend my life and cause me not to have any ailments or illnesses in the future, or at least minimize it. So, family, I always tell you that I love you. Don't forget to use your tools to help you during this difficult time of not being able to interact socially. Um, I apologize for the length of time it's been between videos. I don't have a definite schedule. I'm going to try to implore a schedule so that you guys can know when to look for these videos. I do hope that these videos have encouraged, motivated, and inspired you to evolve, grow, and learn. Um, and again, envision, or illuminate the possibilities of the future that you have in mind. Be great and take care of your loved ones. Call, contact, reach out, text, check on your people, and I hope that they will be checking on you. Meditation and becoming closer to your spiritual deity. All of this can be done during this time of COVID-19. For Michigan, we've been extended to May 28th for our self quarantine. I do know that states are opening. Please use good judgment in going outside and interacting at these beaches and golf courses, and when out in your yard. Please wear your mask and gloves. Again, please practice social distancing. I know we've had a few days of weather that were beautiful. Again, and we've been locked up inside for quite a while. But let us use common sense and great judgment when exploring the outside. Um, and have a wonderful day and a great week. And I love you all. Until the next time.